Hi, this is Jen Walker. I'm so excited to chat with you today. I wanted to talk about the inner voices that you may hear in your head that keep you stuck. And I wanted to talk a little bit about the two-part brain. So we have different functions in our brain, and this is called your prefrontal cortex. It's located here, and it's the planning portion of your brain, and it keeps your best interest in for your future. So I'm sure you've heard that voice before, saying things like, it will, like, what do you want in the long run? What do you want long term? Like, how can I be the best version of myself? Okay, and then here's the limbic system. It's right here in the back. And that is a part of the brain that is wired for survival. And a lot of people will find that they're not separating the two. And it's really keeping them away from their long-term goals that they want. Some of the things that the limbic system will do is it will tell you that it wants immediate gratification and it wants it now. So kind of the same thing. It will also tell you to seek pleasure and avoid pain. It will just be there to keep you alive and to help you survive. And I wanted to do an experiment with you. So what we're going to do is we're going to pause the video, and I want you to start a timer. And I want you to see if you can hold your breath for 2 minutes. And go ahead, pause and do that. And I want you to be aware of what happens in your head. Okay, ready, go. Great, I hope you're back. And what are some of the things that your head was saying as you felt your survival brain kind of kick in? Was it like, oh my gosh, this is crazy. What am I doing? I don't know if I can do this. Was it saying crazy crap for you? I love a quote by Eckhart Tolle. He said, the pleasure is something on the outside, which is external. And joy is something from within, which is internal. So one thing we want to do is create this opportunity for us to explore what's really going on in our life and be more present. So if Eckhart is saying that pleasure is outside of ourselves, then we will want to kind of become more aware of how many pleasures that there are that aren't really satisfactory, giving us satisfaction or joy. So I love this quote as well. I bet you've heard this one. You can't get enough of what you don't need. You can't get enough of what you don't need. So I love that quote because it's like the truth. If an example of this could be frosting on a cupcake. My survival brain will be like, dude, I cannot get enough of this. I could eat like 10 cupcakes, no problem. Like it's just one, and then it turns into 10. It turns into crazy stuff. So I found this to really be true in my limbic system. And pleasure is always temporary, and it's dependent on outside sources, triggers, all sorts of things. So one thing we want to do and understand is to become more aware of the thoughts that we have in our head. And it takes intentional effort and time. And we feel a certain way. If we feel a certain way, whether it's sad, bored, lonely, tired, angry, happy, whatever feeling we have, there is a thought that happens before it. And here's an example. Like maybe you're agitated and bothered, and maybe in your head, the thought right before the annoyance is, my kid is seriously, I've told him 10 times to do this, whatever it is, like sweeping the floor, and he's not doing it. This is so annoying. And then you have that feeling, and then what do? Do we go to food to be able to, like, do you find your limbic system with a hand of chocolate chips in your hand and that you start eating them? Like, what do you do in the process of having that emotion, and then do you choose to end up feeding it? Like, is that happening for you? And another example would be maybe you feel bored, like you have all evening, there's nobody home, you don't really know what to do. A thought that you could have that precedes is that I have nothing to do, or I'm bored. I'm sure that is just like the regular sentence that happens in your head. And then what do you find that happens next? Is food in your hands again? Why are we eating? So what is your limbic system telling you? Have you really been present and in the moment to hear the chatter? There are patterns and there are ways around it as well. So if you can think of an example of a kid at the grocery store, and the mom is pretty chill. She lets them have maybe a treat when they go through the line. And all of a sudden, the first time that somebody else, or it could be this mom, decided she didn't want her kid to have sugar because she was all inspired, and she says no to the kid. What do you think that kid's going to do? He's going to lose his crap, right? That's kind of what our limbic system is going to do too. So it's going to be like, are you kidding me? I want that. I just want a little bit. Or I want it right now. Are you kidding? And it will just get really loud, like a toddler having a tantrum. And so it's a pretty crazy experience that you can have this chatter happening in your head. And so what is your brain telling you? You've got to figure that out. So be aware. And I want you to think of things that you can do to implant new thoughts into your mind. And we can quiet down the chatter in our head by being consistent, okay? And so the toddler keeps going through and he doesn't get his reward, right? And he's not getting the candy bar, and so he kind of understands, okay, fine, I guess I'm not going to cry anymore. It's not getting me what I want. And so that's what we want to do with our brains. And I wanted to give you some phrases that you can use to help you on this fun craziness. So here's some ideas that I have. Now, you need to find out what works for you because everybody's going to be different. But these are just some things that I think are pretty fun. So this is, you have the thought that doesn't serve you, and then you implant it with something like this. The taste only lasts for 1 minute. And that's the truth. Seriously, it doesn't last very long. Another one. Is it bringing me closer to my goals? So you can kind of be an observer and ask questions to yourself. Stop, challenge, choose. Dr. Wayne Scott Anderson, he developed this stop, challenge, choose. Stop, think about what's going on in your head, challenge the thought, which we're talking about, and choose. So choose, is this going to bring me closer to what I really want in the long term? And number 4, my brain loves it, but my butt doesn't, or whatever it is for you. I have no idea where this came from. If you're at a potluck, this is perfect. I have no idea where this came from, but I wonder if in the kitchen there were cats and if the person didn't wash their hands, because that would be bad. And so you can kind of gross yourself out on that one. How will this food affect my energy level? And flour and sugar give me a concentrated dopamine hit, and I don't want that because it's never going to be sustainable. So I am strong, powerful, and empowered. I think that one, like, instead of feeling sorry for yourself, if you can feel empowered, it is going to bless your life. So feel strong and powerful. Another one is, I am not my thoughts. My limbic is just messing with me. So I hope some of these are helpful, but you can form your own. And please share below in the comments. And then I'll have a couple resources for you as well. And awareness is really powerful. I'm going to do a video later on how to feel your feelings in the next process. And so this is just one tip on the iceberg, but it is definitely something that can help you along your path to differentiate the 2-part brain and how you can quiet down that limbic system, the toddler brain and the survival brain. Have a wonderful day. Thanks. If you like this video, please share, comment, and subscribe.